Jason, do you now believe that you can win?
Yes and no. Because, look, the USA, we won our group, okay? So everyone bow down to the almighty United States of America. Francis said we'd go through. I said we had a 37% chance because of what 538 said and their numbers. So everyone can bow down to the almighty USA because that's what the rest of the world thinks of us anyway, you elitist fucks. And they're probably not wrong. So we win our group, Francis.
Yep.
Okay? I'm hijacking this clip from you.
That's why I asked you. You're the U.S. native. I want to hear it.
We won our group. Here's what I know for a fact. And we can win the quarterfinal even without Bobby Wood. We'll get to that in a minute. We can win our matchup. We face in Argentina, we're getting run off the face of the fucking earth. If we face a Messi Argentina, if we face a Messi-less Argentina, if we face a Messi-less, Aguero-less, Otamendi-less, everybody-less, so Romero-less Argentina, we're going to lose. And I also have a fear of playing teams like Colombia. I have a fear of even playing a team like Chile.
Yeah.
Because we will not match the world-class talent that those teams have. However, simply making the semifinal, I think, will be an amazing step forward. I think Klinsmann is so happy he's got some job security back.
Yes, he is.
But I'll get into more of like the observations when it comes to, as an American watching the U.S. men's national team. Francis Maxwell.
Yeah.
That's not the only thing that happened this weekend.
No.
Brazil's out.
Brazil.
And Messi did something.
Brazil crash out, right? And let's put out the real losers of this competition so far. The officiating has been wildly atrocious.
I wish I had a yellow card on me.
Yeah,
Give you
me
one.
and Jason hit the nail on the head. He tweeted out, watch what you're tweeting, you may get a yellow card for it. The USA game I thought was bad enough against Paraguay with the officiating. And then you have just I'll slap that in, a nice handball.
Oh, that's right.
There you go, right? And by the way, as harsh as this is going to face it, like there is a lot of Brazil fans out there that are hurting at the moment, and I do apologize for you guys. But you're shite. You're shite without Neymar at the moment. You beat Haiti 7-1. Me and Jason could form a 7-man team out here, be 4 players less than Haiti, and probably still put up a good result. They're not a good team. Ecuador, you were awful, atrocious. Really did not put anything
That's
forward.
where we were at.
We were at it. I fell asleep at halftime, and it takes a lot to put me to sleep in a football game. But then against Peru, there is moments where I'm like, this is reminiscent, but in a team that used to have the Romarios, the Ronaldinhos, the Ronaldos, the Roberto Carlos, all the R's. Maybe you're just missing a team of R's. You just look so... I feel bad for the Brazil fans because, my God, has that country got enough adversity to face? And the one, I would say, escape for them was always football because they create some just majestic footballers. And whatever the decision was for Neymar not to go, whether it was Barcelona, whether it was the fact that he needs to be preserved for the Olympics, whatever bullshit was sold, you need that player. Because one player, not just with his ability, but as you see with a Gareth Bale for Wales, and you see with a Ronaldo probably for Portugal, as we see hopefully in his next game, one player makes so much of a difference just to build the morale, just to build that team chemistry, and actually give an outlet. Because Neymar is an outlet where he can make a mountain out of a molehill. And Brazil need that, and they are so bad. Like, I don't want to put the harsh criticism. Peru, congratulations to you. You outworked them, and you eventually got that cheeky little hand of God.
You out-handballed them.
Yeah, out-handed them. And I think that now, despite the fact that it was such a harsh way to go out, teams that just didn't turn up for this tournament ready, or with the poor managerial decisions, poor squad selection, faced the brunt of it. The team that I predicted to go and win it, Uruguay, Suarez quite literally threw his toys out the pram, or his boot on the field, because he wasn't used. And now the next game is redundant. They're out. And now the USA, as much as I still agree with Jason and don't believe they can win, I think it's going to be a success if they get to the semifinals. But Argentina, man.
We just get absolutely.
And did you see my intro? I did a clip on Facebook for it, and I was like, Messi may have used Panama to help stash some offshore cash, but he didn't pay them back when he came on 21 minutes in. There was no mercy from the little magician. Hat trick in 21 minutes.
I was going to say, with the beer, Dollar Shave Club threw him like a $4 billion sponsorship. They're like, we'll do anything for you to shave that. Good thing about Messi coming on was there's a lot of United States or Americans in the stadium. They got to see Messi score. A great moment.
To see him.
It's unbelievable. It would have sold out. So I want to discuss one other thing with Colombia, and there's part of the reason why I believe that they didn't necessarily throw their game, because no team necessarily wants to not win their group because it doesn't put you in a better situation. But in Colombia's case, it might have. And here's the reason. For one, They don't have to travel. They stay on the East Coast, and Colombians travel well on the East Coast opposed to the West. You come over to the West Coast, you're pretty much entering Mexico's home team territory in this tournament. That's another team that I don't think anybody wants to face is Mexico.
Good point, yeah.
Colombia on top of that they didn't start 8 of their men. They're going to be the most rested team, and if the tactic works, that they don't want to travel, that they got their home kind of fans there, at least on the East Coast of the United States, and they're rested, that's another team that I don't want the U.S. to face. So the U.S. plays Ecuador in the quarterfinal. I think we need to win that match just to prove that we can, go somewhat far in competitions. But again, we have no Bobby Wood, who I actually think is the most legitimate striker on the team. We're going to say, what about Dempsey? He scored 51 international goals. He's approaching Landon Donovan. I never think Dempsey makes the right pass. I think he puts so much on himself, and while he's the one who can finish, and he's instrumental to the team winning, considering he's 90% of the goals we ever score.
Yeah.
I find it frustrating when you're watching Dempsey lead a counterattack, and instead of either passing to the wings where you have wide open shot creation, he'd rather take on 2 men at once.
Yeah.
It drives me out of my mind. I like Dempsey, but he does these things that I think aren't the correct moves.
The only counter argument I may have to the Colombia point, which could be a valid point, is
just a theory.
I don't know if it's worth risking playing Ecuador, who I think, and I have seen first glance, are not a bad team, but I would much rather face Ecuador than Peru. So I don't know if they want to, Peru again, both teams are going to be difficult, but Colombia, I think the way they play their style of football, I think they would have rather played Ecuador and nullified their attack early on. So it may be a tactic. The travelling may come into it. The rested players may come into it. I think generally they might have just thought they could have won
without their starters.
And by the way, the USA's most impressive wasn't against Costa Rica, because Costa Rica are a shadow of their former self without Keylor Navas in goals. I talked about that on that clip. But I think that against Paraguay, they really showed some character on that team, and they showed the ability to play against adversity and prove that they can mix up the best.
88th minute.
Because Paraguay are a strong team, and they're no easy team to discard, and they were the favourites to go along through to the next round with Colombia. So, but here's the harsh reality. If the USA crash out in the quarterfinals, nothing has changed. They are the same team that has potential but can't get over that final hump to prove that they can mix it. Same way it happened at the World Cup. It was a good tournament, but Belgium, superior opponent, able to close out, and that's where the big test is going to come for the USA, is against Ecuador. If they go past that line, Jurgen Klinsmann, all his points that he's been looking towards and all the adjustments he's made and all the squad selection that's been iffy, becomes redundant. No fan can really complain, because he's proven that he can go on in a major tournament with the likes of Argentina, with Brazil and Uruguay crashing out early on. Look at us. We are a country that doesn't value soccer, but look where we're going. And the last point, the dark horses, you're absolutely right, Jason. Mexico play again tonight, I believe.
Yeah,
and whatever way that group goes will adjust how the teams pan out in the next round. I wouldn't want to play Mexico.
I wouldn't want to play Mexico.
I would not want to play Mexico. We were there firsthand. That 12th man is a big plus for them.
Arriba Guanato! Arriba Guanato y Tecate!
But we will bring you more Copa America coverage as we go forward. My predictions are going to be saved to see how the quarterfinals actually pan out with the draw, and then I'll make some predictions. And of course, we'll do a lot of stuff on Facebook, where you can check out Facebook Live at TYT Sports. And we will be covering this tournament as much as we possibly can, because frankly, there's 3 major tournaments going on. I said it in the last clip. There's the NBA Finals, there's the Euros and the Copa, and there's 2 of us. We're doing what we can.
We're trying.
Give me a 5 up top for the effort. And we'll see you guys soon. Thank you for being so patient. We'll bring you more breastfeeding bodybuilder clips as you like. TYT Sports on Twitter, Francis_Maxwell, Jason Rubin 91.